the chair now recognizes the gentleman from Alabama's 6th District for 5 minutes for questions.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'll allow you to answer that question from Ms. McClellan. That's in line with some of my questions.
Well, I will say that cybersecurity is not really in the wheelhouse of pipeline safety for our organization. It's more of a reliability issue, so we don't really dig into the weeds on it. The way we've approached it is the integrity management program for high consequence areas requires an operator to identify all potential threats against the pipeline, create a plan to mitigate against those threats, and implement that plan. And cybersecurity threats should be considered one of those threats, and PHMSA could adopt some specific standards within integrity management. To the rest of your question, as far as agency coordination is beyond my expertise.
Mr. Black, I'd like for you to take a shot at that question as well, but back in 2021, we had a ransomware attack on the Colonial Pipeline, which was in my district. And there have been multiple attacks at various healthcare facilities around the country. And as more pipeline networks become part of that equation, the threat of another attack is very much a real possibility, whether it's fuel line like the Colonial Pipeline or other pipelines. Can you address where you think we are in terms of protecting our pipelines from cyber attacks and what we need to do to protect them?
Glad to address both of you. Cybersecurity is very important to pipelines. Like any Fortune 500 company, pipeline operators need to maintain safeguards to protect their commercial systems and their operational systems. We'll do that in concert with the Transportation Security Administration, working with them on cyber directives. I believe you asked about CISA reauthorization. LEPA supports reauthorization of CISA. That will give pipeline operators the opportunity, a safe place to work with governments to talk about threats. It's quite important that PHMSA coordinate with those with cybersecurity expertise to make sure that anything that PHMSA does is in concert with what they know about how to do cybersecurity for pipelines, which quickly evolving technologies and threats. Very important.
So are you hearing much on that from industry?
Every day, we know there are attempts to breaches. I participate in classified briefings from government. We must always have our guard on pipeline safety. Thankfully, there are recommended practices. There are interactions with government and experts to try and improve that. We can never stop our vigilance.
Do you feel like PHMSA is weighing in on this properly? They're doing their part? Or do we need to be doing more?
PHMSA is not key on cybersecurity, and I think that's okay. We'll work with CISA and with TSA. We need PHMSA to make sure they're talking with them. Many of these briefings, PHMSA is a part of those. That coordination should be done right to make sure there's not conflicts and overlapping and pipeline operators being told to do two different things. We need to make sure we're doing that right.
Do we know if these are just in the ransomware attack situation with Colonial Pipeline? That was just people trying to extort money. But do we have nation state involved in this, or people who are being given safe harbors? We know they are, in China and Russia and other places to launch these attacks. Is there any
public
effort?
setting? Generally, yes. And I know there's people I can encourage you to talk to in government that can help take you more. But we must be vigilant and must be working on this well every day.
My concern about this transcends the pipelines. I mean, it's the critical infrastructure across the country could be subject to a cyber attack, whether it's a ransomware attack or you know, from a state-sponsored terrorist group. I mean, it could be anything. And I think that our grid, in its totality, not just the power grid, but the entire totality of the grid, whether it's pipelines or power, we've got to make this a very serious issue, a top priority.
We Americans use all these forms of energy every day, and we can't afford to have something down from a cyber incident. You're absolutely right. Thank you for paying attention to that.
Well, I appreciate your response. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.